My name is Tynan, and I'm a medical refugee. I'm a 36-year-old man from Roscommon in Ireland. Back in February 2015, I was diagnosed with a grade 2 brain tumour, and I was asked to go for surgery to get it removed. And after surgery in April 2015, they thought they got 100% of it out, but subsequent scans showed that they didn't, or so they seemed to thought, which was scar tissue. It was looking like it was enhancing, which suggested that it was a tumour activity going on. That was back in November 2016 that I got that diagnosis. And at that stage, they offered me chemotherapy and radiotherapy, and that was about a year and 6 weeks worth of treatment. And I turned them down because I seen what it did to my own mother, who passed away in 2016. And I asked them, could I go down the medicinal cannabis route, to which they said no, they don't want to supply that kind of or they said no, they had better treatment for me in their eyes. And I says that chemotherapy and radiotherapy are both poisons, and they said to me that cannabis was a poison. And I laughed at them and told them that you're misinformed, that cannabis is a non-toxic plant. So that's when I felt like I run our road in Ireland. They told me what I asked them what was my next steps from there if I didn't want to go down the chemotherapy and radiotherapy route. And they said, well, it's going to be palliative care for you, Mr. Tynan. The medicine I was prescribed from the doctors in Clapham Clinic is 2 bottles. One is THC and one has CBD in it. This has to be produced in a lab setting, so the doctors in Clapham Clinic put me in contact with a laboratory in Barcelona, and that's where I get my CBD and THC from. One bottle contains 10% CBD, and one bottle contains 10% THC. This stuff I've never seen the likings of it before. I've seen cannabis oils before, but not to this quality. It's completely different. So it is. The cannabis oils I've seen before were always whole plant medicines, whereas this is 2 separate parts of the plant. So this is CBD. I'll show you what it looks like. It's kind of a dark substance that has a bitter taste to it. This is what is commonly known as Charlotte's Web around the place. It's non-psychoactive. It helps. It's like it keeps the body's cannabinoid system in function, which allows for immunity against diseases, etc. Well, this little guy here, this one, if I brought back into Ireland, I'd get arrested. It's 10% THC, and I'll show you what it looks like. It's more of a goldy colour. I put these drops underneath my tongue 3 times a day, 6 drops each time, and the CBD seems to cancel out the THC. Well, that's what the doctors told me anyway, and that's the effects that I've found with it. I haven't been getting any highs so far. I've actually been able to come down off other prescription tablets. I've cut out 2 tablets completely with major significant reductions in others. So I wasn't able to do that on other cannabis oils that was taken previously until the introduction of this CBD, which is a non-psychoactive substance. And in Ireland it's legal, alright, but it's classified as a food supplement, and when it has so many medicinal values, it stops muscle spasms, it stimulates appetite, it can help people get off other prescription drugs as well, which is great. So I got in contact with the Clapper Clinic, and they gave me an outline of the costs, and I was rattling my brain on how to raise money, and all I could come up with was maybe €1,000, maybe 1,500, and I thought at the very minimum I was going to need 8 or 9 grand to come over here initially, and to pay for accommodation and to pay for the medicine itself, so I begrudgingly set up a GoFundMe page in the hopes of that I might get a couple of €100 out of it, and I ended up within a couple of hours. I had my first donation of €10, and then after that it just seemed to the snowball effects that just seemed to happen with it, and I reached my goal of 8,000 within 48 hours, and it's been going up ever since, really. The amount of support, the amount of people that come out of the woodwork that you haven't seen in years, that have come out and reached into their pockets. Some of them small amounts, some of them big amounts, but it doesn't matter the amount. It's the actual thought and the gesture of goodwill. Money to me is infinite. Like every number is infinite to me, and so it doesn't matter to me how much money I have, but it's the thoughts and the will of the people, because what I'm fighting for is going to affect everybody at some stage in their life, whether it's for themselves or for their loved ones. And they're going to be looking for medicinal cannabis at some stage in their lives. Hola from Zaragoza.
Hola from Zaragoza.
Aloha from Zaragoza.
Hola from Zaragoza.
Hola from Zaragoza. Hola from Zaragoza.
Hola from Zaragoza.
Leaving my family back home in Ireland was one of the hardest things that I've ever had to do in my life. My wife Marie says to me, "You won't miss the eyes of the boys," and to be honest with you, it's what I miss most. Just them playing around and just their screams. I used to give out to them before, but now the silence here is deafening.
Came on me stealing, and the mice were squealing in my prison cell, and the old triangle went jingle jangle all along the banks of the Royal Canal.